Hello and welcome to LAKERLAND, where you hear some thoughts from some Laker fans. I am Christian, and alongside of me is my left-hand man, Matt. What it do, man?
Full.
Well, yeah, we still fresh off that last recording. Hopefully, you guys checked that one out. It was hilarious for us to record talking about James Harden and his honey bun issues with his honey bun little baby. But yeah, we're gonna be.
Yo, first of all, QC forgive us. Comedy style all the way. We love Baby. We love Harden.
Lil Baby's my
Comedy
favorite
style.
artist. Lil Baby is my favorite artist, and I do not want to be banned from Atlanta. I seen what the Gucci and Jeezy beef was. Keep
All comedy style. All comedy
keep
style.
me at full distance. That's a question in itself. But today, we are going to be answering, at least giving our thoughts to some questions going into the 2020-2021 season that hopefully, the big question is, can Lakers repeat? And we'll get into some questions that lead into that. And it's a new team, new design, just a bit, kind of the same idea, at least it seems like. But, are we going to be able to execute it the same? The first question I got written down that I want to get into is the chemistry still there? We lost, the Danny Greens, the Rajon Rondos, Dwight Howards. Am I missing anybody with the big ones? JaVale McGee. Is it just those four?
I think it's those four.
Wow.
We got QC back.
Yeah, I thought we lost more than that. But yeah, we're adding in new pieces. Montrezl Harrell was known as one of the cancers of the
Oh,
team.
Avery Bradley.
Avery Bradley, that was the other big one. So three starters, two big bench players coming off and playing significant roles, and we know how tight knit that team was last year. So the first question is, do you believe the chemistry to still be there, or is this going to have like a different vibe of the team?
It's crazy, bro, because that was one thing I was worried about. And actually thinking about it now, like right now, the chemistry might have gotten better. Because it's like, all right, we're coming off a championship. We lost some guys, but to be honest with you, I feel like those guys weren't even that active socially with the team. Avery Bradley, I don't even think he was really active. He was probably one of those guys who never said a word in a group chat.
Yeah, I don't think Avery was a talkative one.
Danny Green, I feel like they was violating him as soon as he left. JaVale is probably like the biggest.
JaVale and Dwight, as far as for chemistry.
JaVale and Dwight. Yeah. But I think that's like something that could be salvaged a little bit because, I mean, we got a Gasol coming in. I feel like he's going to fit in great. I think Trez is already fitting in great just from hearing his takes on the team and how everything is coming together right now. I feel like it's fitting in great. And I think that just coming off a championship and striving for another one with a team that was built with actual intention, you know what I'm saying? Because last year, it was the last year I was put together, but with a team that's been built with actual intention and, I'm pretty sure that these guys, they definitely feel some stuff for each other because I remember there's a clip going around with LeBron giving Shooter a hug during when we played the Thunder or whatever. And it's just, I just feel like a lot of that stuff is showing his face now. And I feel like Shooter always wanted to be a Laker. Trez always wanted to be like, all these guys are just happy to be here. And it's like embracing the team. And I feel like the chemistry is only just going to elevate.
Yeah. So the thing with me is I don't know if we're going to have the same type of chemistry we had last year where if we were to be trapped in a bubble with them this year, everything will be the exact same. At the end of the day, Dennis Schroeder is a guy from Germany. He spent most of his years in Germany. So he might be a little different than, he's a different type of culture that the Lakers just had last year. Montrezl Harrell, he had some rumors of being problems in the Clippers locker room. The thing with Montrez that kind of saves me a little bit is he's a clutch guy. So he has an established Anthony Davis and LeBron connection right there. So off rip, I think they will mesh just fine. And I like Montrezl Harrell's spirit. And he might be the person needed to punch Kuz in the face. That might be the person we need. Montrezl Harrell would be able to do that. Marc Gasol, that's another person. He's not He's not a JaVale McGee, Dwight Howard goofiness, so that type of energy might be gone. Is that good? It might possibly. For on the court, chemistry might be better. As far as, I don't know if the group chat's going to be as funny as it once was. I don't know if, the memes would be flowing in as much. So it's going to be interesting to play out. I don't know if it's the type of chemistry that would, like I said, keep you, fully entertained if it was in a bubble. But I'm hoping we don't have to go there.
It's definitely something that needs to be nourished because, they had a whole year to get that together, you know what I'm saying, before they got into the bubble. So I think within a couple of months, everything's going to be pretty smooth. We still got duds, and I feel like that was the key. I feel like that's the glue to the whole chemistry. Like, duds is still there, bro. You know what I'm saying? We still got QC. We still got and a lot of these guys have, and especially the new guys, a lot of them have Lakers pride. Wesley Matthews, he's coming in with
Wesley fits in right away. I could tell you.
Yeah, he's coming in with Lakers pride. I feel like Schroeder, he's coming in with Lakers pride. Like he's ready to go. Trez is coming in with Lakers pride. Regardless of what anybody says, one thing about those guys that stick out to me is like their loyalty. And before they was even on the Lakers, like it impressed me the way Schroeder rocked with the Thunder. It impressed me the way Trez rock with the Clippers. Like it made me hate Trez a little bit because it's like, yo, you rock with them that much, like the Clippers suck. But it's I understand he's riding for his team, and I feel like he's really gonna bring that to us, and he's gonna ride for us. He's gonna be that dog for us. Same thing with Shooter, same thing with Wesley, same thing with Gasol. I feel like they're all gonna feel like we're real Lakers, and I think the organization is gonna do a good job of making them feel welcome and a part of the team.
At the end of the day, I don't think we can ever have that chemistry we did last year, off of the strength that team went through a lot together. The passing of Kobe, the incident in China, the bubble thing. These were all things that they were together for, and they had to kind of all, push through that roadblocks together. This team, I'm hoping we don't have those roadblocks to begin with. So, like I said, it's going to be a different type of chemistry. What we have chemistry, at the end of the day, what I do like, what we did with this team is we kept continuity. We cut QC and signed his ass back. Got Dudley back. We kept the KCPs. Caruso is obviously still here. Everybody's still looking like they're super excited for THT.
Pretty much the same.
Anthony Davis, LeBron committed long term. So, the players on the roster know that, hey, these are people that want to play here. So I think that the chemistry will still be there. It might not be on the same level, but that's okay. One good sign, I'm going to share it on the screen right now for you. We know Genie. This is an encouraging sign.
I don't really have a comment for that.
I think with that also shown, Montrezl Harrell might be a Laker for a very long time, because I seen Kyle Kuzma give that same hug to Genie, and he solidified. Kyle Kuzma's gonna get an extension just off of his relationship with Genie alone.
Bro, like, you might not think that the same chemistry is obtainable, but think about it, bro. When we went into the bubble, we picked up like how many new guys? We picked up Keith, we picked up Dion, we picked up JR. All of them still thrived within our locker room and all that.
Floated effortlessly in two. And, Dion was somebody who was known as a locker room case. Markeith, that was somebody that was known as he's a problem. He's an aggressive guy. And they all flown in like peas in a pod, man. It was fine.
And a lot of the things that these guys have in common when they speak on Lakers chemistry, and I think that we need to start giving a little more credit to is LeBron James' leadership. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people point to that when they say, oh, well, LeBron is just his leadership on the team is just, and AD, just as the best players on the team. I think that their brother-like relationship rubs off on the whole team. And, that's most we can ask for. Look at the Clippers. Paul George and Kawhi, they don't even seem like they're on the same page half the time. So,
yeah,
it's a lot.
I do hope we can keep that one for all for one mentality. Obviously, they can't go to like group events and things like that the other team was able to do. But hopefully when everything clears up, they can do one big barbecue or one big movie night or one big, because these teams our team last year did a bunch of events together and things of that nature, and that kept holding everything close. Right. And I got faith. I got faith in Bron's leadership at this age in his life, and I got
Hmm.
faith in that. AD being our star player now, and that goes legit almost easily into the next question. Whose team is this? Is this LeBron James or is it Anthony Davis's?
Um, as time goes on, I'm sounding like Jack Frank, but nah, but shout out my boy Frank. But bro, honestly, right now they sharing it, bro. And I don't think that's the wrong answer. They sharing it. Like LeBron was there for a year before AD, but that was kind of a lost season, and it didn't really kick in until we got AD, and they're carrying the load pretty equally. Like LeBron is here with it, AD is here with it, and they're not really missing a step. LeBron's not missing a step. AD is progressing. I think over time it's going to become AD's team. And what LeBron tried to do as soon as we got AD was make it his team. He told everybody, he made it known in the media, I want AD to be the star of this team. Because I think he's looking long term. I don't think necessarily he was talking about current time. Like, yeah, this is AD's team right now because LeBron is still going crazy in MVP numbers. But long term, within the next couple of years, yes, this is going to be AD's team. He's going to be the head of the Lakers. And I think that's what he's prepping him for. But right now, they're sharing it for sure.
I think we are going to see the start of something new this year. And I truly believe this is now Anthony Davis's team. He's entering his prime. I feel like we're about to see for the first time, not necessarily LeBron James take his foot off the gas, but him slowly exit the MVP race and Anthony Davis slowly enter it. I think we are going to see Anthony Davis be a MVP defensive player of the year candidate on both ends. And I think this will be Anthony Davis's team. Is LeBron going to be the backbone of it all? Most likely. But I feel like this is the year where we're going to look at it and say Anthony Davis won us these games. And LeBron James, he was our point guard. So that's what I hope, and that's what I think they're doing. Like you said, LeBron James has been kind of saying, I want this to be Anthony's team. But I've seen Jared Dudley say, I expect Anthony Davis to go for MVP this year. So I feel like that to me is saying, and I feel like if anybody knows the pulse on the locker room, it's Jared Dudley. So I think that him saying that means, hey, we can't have two MVP contenders on one team. It might be AD.
Yeah, I mean, it might be AD. I'm not sleeping on it still being Braun, though, to be honest. I wasn't expecting him to have an MVP type year last year, and he
Neither
did.
did I.
So I can't sleep on it. The way LeBron's been playing, especially he just got done winning the Finals MVP a couple months ago. I don't really see him. Maybe regular season, yeah, I guess taking the foot off the gas a little bit, especially with the short end of off season for him. But LeBron is capable of winning another MVP if he really wants to. That's just what I believe. So I don't think that it's necessarily going to be hands down AD is leading the Lakers in all facets. No, I don't think so. I think when it comes down to winning time, I think they're going to be sharing it still, at least for this season. But long term, it will become AD's team for sure.
All right. Well, can it be Kyle Kuzma's team? Because my next question is, can Kyle Kuzma find his fit this year?
Of course he can.
Well, will he find his fit this year? How about that?
Well, he's a better question. That's a better question. That makes it a little tough. Ah, I'm conflicted.
I
This
heard you was conflicted.
influence.
Yeah.
No, but bro, because it's like, as Laker fans, as real Laker fans, we want him to do that, right? But looking at all the factors, it just seems like it's more of a spot for him to kind of decrease and roll. You know what I'm saying? Like it seems like his usage might go down, his stats might go down, but that's just my perception on everything right now with all the changes we made roster wise. It kind of seems like we built the roster because we can't depend on Kyle.
I was going to say the same thing, and I was actually going to say that I don't believe Kuzma will find his fit. I was going to say that, and then I realized that did we build our roster? Not because I was going to say the same thing. We have Kuzma's going to be out positioned. He has Harrell, he has Keith, but maybe he finds his fit as a 3 because there is no backup 3 to LeBron James.
Not true.
And Pelinka said we are going to depend on Kuzma to kind of fill a defensive role for us and guard wings.
If he said we were depending on Kuzma,
I broke up those words to a certain extent, but he did say they expect Kuzma to step up and to be a valuable 3 for them. That's what they said, a valuable wing.
Hey man, I see all of Kuzma's potential and what he could be for the team. It's all up to him mentally to figure it out. He is more than capable of physically doing it. You know what I'm saying? I've seen him do it before. But it's all up to his mental. And I feel like with all these new pieces being added, he's the type of guy to let that hinder his performance. We brought in Dion for a little bit, and Kuzma saw it as a competition. That's how I saw it. Meanwhile, Dion really got no burn, but he was just like another type of Kuzma type of player who was kind of just quick offense that we needed. And I feel like he got threatened. And now he's definitely threatened, but I hope that he's using it as fuel and motivation to just perform.
Kuzma better hope that Dennis Schroeder starts, because if Dennis Schroeder and Montrezl Harrell are coming off of the bench, there is no eating for Kyle Kuzma.
It's going to be very minimal, bro. But he can really thrive in this off the bench coming for LeBron role. That is a big role to have. And if you shine in that role, you'll get a lot of value. And I feel like that's what he wants right now. Who knows if he's looking to be a Laker long term. But
that's another thing. Kuzma is going to we'll see if he gets extended before, the season even begins, but Kuzma is going to need to fit if he wants to be a Laker, because if not, I know how much he likes LA, and he can kiss it out of here, because if he doesn't fit this year, he is done.
So this is his last chance.
I'm interested to see the answer of this question in all reality. He's a guy who's a workhorse, and I seen that Puma commercial. It sounds like he's all for proving doubters wrong, right? And I'm going to be rooting for Kuzma. I'm going to try my hardest not to slander anybody this year, man. Danny Green is out of here. Danny Green is actually so out of here that I gotta think to share with Danny Green as well, as we could admire that picture one more time. Danny Green actually sent a heartfelt message to Laker fans today. That's a nasty photo of him with that championship, like he actually contributed. Just bro, like we got James Harden holding up the 4. You got Danny Green holding up the 3. And he says, "Thank you to my Lakers family, the city of LA, and Laker fans everywhere for welcoming me to your city and your team. We did welcome you, but we also exited you. We had one job and we made it happen. I'll never forget my time as part of the Lake Show because I got many threats. And I have all of you to thank for it. Special shout out to my teammates and coaching staff for an unforgettable season. Thank you for Spectrum, blah, blah. On to the next chapter." Danny Green, thank you for
I respect
glad
it.
to have you the hell out of here.
I respect it, but yeah, facts. Yeah, we have to show you the door. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we got to show you the door. But there's a question to be asked. We do lose Danny Green. We do lose Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, Rondo, when it came to the playoffs, Rondo was a big defensive anchor. Dwight Howard was big defensively for, the Jokic matchup and some of the other matchups they had. Danny Green, they said he was a good defender. I don't know if I saw that, but and we pick up somebody like Montrezl Harrell, who's not known for defense. Marc Gasol, who, he was a defense player of the year, but he's older. He's a lot older. Dennis Schroeder, who he can defend, but he's short. Do we get worse defensively? Genuine question.
On paper, I guess, but we still have Frank, which is the key component to our whole defense, because he pretty much shaped our defensive strategy. So, do I believe that Dennis Schroeder could be as effective as Rondo on defense? Hell yeah. Do I think Trez could be as effective as Danny Green? More effective. Hell yeah.
Wesley Matthews is Danny Green's.
Yeah, but Wesley Matthews is not even a question. Of course, he's gonna be better than Danny Green. Trez and the replacement for Dwight Howard, I guess so. But I mean, I feel like Dwight Howard a lot of times could have been a liability because he was getting a lot of fouls, and he was putting us in the bonus a lot and stuff like that. So I mean, Dwight Howard definitely held it down, but in the same way, Trez could definitely contribute in a very similar way, if not a more effective way. So do we get worse defensively? It's too early to tell. Maybe off rip just because we have to figure out our rotations and the team has to get together. It's only like a very short training camp to get everything together. So it might seem off the first few games. But if there's one thing I know is that Frank is going to figure it out. And we still have the main components to our defense. So, hey, I think Marc Gasol has enough of a defensive IQ to, no matter how old he is, to be effective defensively. And he's still a big body. And we still have AD, who was DPOY last year for me. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be DPOY this year. So, hey, I don't know.
Am I far off? So last year was I think, I've seen a lot of Lakers seasons. A lot of those seasons were also very bad. Last year, I believe, was the best defensive Lakers team I ever seen, like fully seen. Truthfully, it was one of the best defensive teams I've ever seen with my own eyes. Like I didn't see the 2004 Pistons. I was 5 years old, 6 years old.
The Warriors was a pretty good defensive team too. I'm not gonna lie, during that run.
But Warriors was another one. But I feel like their offense just kind of drained you so much that they made your offense look terrible. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So last year was just a crazy defining defensive team. But am I far off to think that this team could be better defensively?
No, you're not far off at all.
I like Dwight Howard, and I like what he gave us last year. But he wasn't the best matchup for a lot of the centers. He did foul a lot. And we get kind of phased by how he played Jokic in game one, that we forget that the rest of the games he didn't do the best job on him. And Jokic ate him up for a decent amount of those games.
Crazy.
So Marc Gasol, I don't know if he's going to get ate up like that. I think Marc Gasol, he's not as athletic as Dwight Howard, but his
IQ is way better.
Dwight Howard's a better rim protector for sure, but Marc Gasol's a better on-ball defender. And he's going to be able to be in the right spots at all times as well, like Dwight Howard. So I feel like we kind of have an even trade there. Then we also get another year of the team in a similar system with 10 players, kept in the rotation. So they already know what to do. A full year of, Keith developing more and Kuzma developing more. We know what Caruso's defense already brings, and KCP, Wesley Matthews, I'm a bigger fan of his defense than Danny Green. Yeah, we lose Bradley, but all that means is more minutes for Caruso, who he's not Bradley level defense, but he is defensive intensity to the fullest. And Dennis Schroeder is a regular season going to be a way better defender than Rondo ever was.
I believe so too.
So, and Montrezl Harrell is definitely a wild card, but we're talking about a guy that has just he's a freakish athlete with a freakish build. And if you don't think, I believe that Frank could turn that guy into a monster on defense.
He's going to thrive under Frank, bro. If I know one thing, I know that the Clippers ain't use Trez right defensively, and Frank will. He will, without a doubt.
So, if we aren't as good on the defensive end, that's okay. Because last year, it's like saying like, it's really like saying like, we weren't that much. We weren't as good as a championship season. Like, it's comparing, a tier here to a tier right here. It's like, it's okay if you're just 1 decimal off. Like, you'll be just fine. It's still good enough to get the job done. So that's what it's going to come down to for that question. The bigger question I got, and I'm going to be honest, if I didn't tell you I was afraid of this one, can Frank Vogel show some offensive game and offensive game planning? We saw what he was able to do on the defensive end. We have more offensive pieces now. Do you think we're going to see it come to fruition as nice as it sounds on paper?
Come on, man. If I know one thing is that Frank doesn't work alone, right? He's going to work with his coaching staff. He's going to work with Braun. He's going to work with AD. They're all going to figure out how to get this offense going. And, bro, look at all the offensive weapons that we have. There's no way we're going to go through any dry spells or any of that. Too many offensive weapons. And Frank is just too smart, and he uses his resources very well. He's going to use Braun. He's going to use Schroeder. He's going to work with them very closely and carefully. Trust me, I know Frank is going to do the right thing when it comes to offense and defense.
I'll be lying to you, bro, if I told you I wasn't afraid of this whole Schroeder thing. Like, I'm so excited for him, but I'm afraid of Schroeder said that he expects to start, and Frank Vogel said that there is no solidified, Schroeder starting yet.
But Frank also said that there is no solidified. That's Frank, bro. Frank said that last year that we don't know what the starting is going to be, even though he knew what the starters was going to be. But he
kept the same starting lineup all year.
Yes, but he does that because Frank is up here with it, bro. He plays a psychological game with the guys where off rip in training camp last year, they was playing like intense defense in training camp because he got them to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because he had it in their heads that if you want to start for the Lakers, you have to play top tier defense. And that's what got the whole team together to say, you know what, we're going to hang our hat on defense. That's why we were so good defensively the whole year. Frank knows what he's doing, bro. I'm pretty sure Dennis is going to be starting. I'm pretty sure they both know that, but we have championship aspirations, and that's not going to happen by kissing people's ass.
Way to put it. That's a way to put it. So, who do you guys starting, KCP or Matthews?
KCP.
Okay. I'm gonna be real interested in. One thing I do trust is Frank's rotations. I think he'll find minutes for everybody. And last year he was good at communicating. Hey, so and so, you're not gonna be playing today. This isn't gonna be a game for you. Hey, so and so, you're gonna get 20 minutes. I'm gonna get you in. Like, that was something that I've heard in Frank Vogel's interviews after the season that he kind of hung his hat on. He didn't want people to go into the game not knowing what their role was. And right. I'm hoping that these people can star in their roles like they did last year. Like I said, Dennis Schroeder is the wild card. I know Montrezl Harrell can do it. I know Gasol can do it. I hope Schroeder doesn't have like an ego that gets in the way. He seems
No,
like
I don't see that, bro. I really don't. I know he said a couple things like, "Oh, I played off the bench long enough, whatever." I think that things are getting lost in translation a little bit with Schroeder. I think that he's fully aware of his role, knowing that he's playing with LeBron and Anthony Davis. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's expecting to be a star. I think that he's just expecting his role to be what it was said to him prior to him like pulling up. You know what I'm saying? Like him, Rob, and Frank obviously had a conversation. Within those conversations, expectations were laid out. So I'm pretty sure he's just speaking on that. I don't think he's speaking on his own expectations. I think he's speaking for the team in a way on what his role is going to be. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that he's the type of player to be like, you know what, I'm gonna be a sourpuss about this. And I think it says a lot about Frank too, because how you mentioned before, that is like a recipe for disaster with most teams. Try to tell like players, you might not play this game or limited minutes this series or whatever. And we was able to do that successfully throughout the whole season and playoffs. He had everybody on board on their role. And I feel like Frank is coming from a very genuine place where he's not kissing anybody's ass. And he's coming with it very objectively on a game plan. He has this very strategic way about moving. And he's going to be very transparent with these players and tell them exactly what the game plan is. And look, the result was a championship, so I don't think anybody's going to argue with him at this point.
I like Frank, man.
I love Frank.
I really do. I hope, because we've seen so many coaches come and go on this damn team within the last years after being, used to Phil Jackson for forever, it felt like. And I hope we can get back to just that coach that's like, he's a Laker guy. Like, that's a Lakers coach. He's a Lakers guy. When you talk about the Lakers, you're talking about a team that is ran by Frank Vogel. And a chip on his first year is a good little thing to get Laker fans on board. I can tell you that much. And it looks like AD likes him. It looks like LeBron likes him. And that's a big, that's a big hurdle for LeBron.
It's a huge hurdle.
So I'm really glad to see Vogel, and I got faith in him, which is in general, he's always had a lot on his plate with everything we had to go through last year. Even like losing Boogie in the first, before season even started. So he had to kind of figure out a role for a guy that hasn't played real basketball in years with Dwight Howard. But he figured it all out. He figured out that Caruso was great, that Luke Walton never figured out for whatever reason. But yeah, man, I like Vogel, and he's really gonna need to flex his muscle this year because it's a short off season. And one of my last questions, one of my last real questions at least, is, do you believe this short off season hurts us?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it a beam, bro. I'm gonna keep it a full stack because LeBron James, man, he's the only really player I feel like is going to be affected. Him and AD may be a little affected about this short offseason, and they're the head of our snake. So a slow start to already shorten seasons a little bit by like 10 games or whatever, it could affect our growth a little bit, and that might be a little troublesome, but I feel like since it's most of the team coming back, we still got the head coach. We still got a lot of our key players. And it's not like LeBron's going to be absent. I'm pretty sure everything's going to get figured out the same way that they figured everything out once we got to the bubble. But there's going to be a trial period. That's what we got to expect. It's going to be a trial period.
I don't – maybe I'm just biased, and I might be. I think it might help us. I was hearing a video, not a press conference, but just a interview with KCP today, and they asked him. They said, "Hey, is this feeling like the start of the season? Like, does it feel like training camp?" And he said it honestly just feels like practice with a few new guys.
Yeah.
And I think that comment, it can be taken a few different ways. It can be taken like, oh, well, maybe that's not helping a new team. But this isn't really that much of a new team. And even the people that we lost and gained, those roles are kind of just copy and paste.
Pretty much.
So with that said, it might be able to help us because we know what we're doing. We're still hot. We can still have that momentum. And like I said, the roles are already there. I mean, granted, if we had more time, would it be better? Either way, this is the second season after you win a championship is always like a hangover season. You don't really expect to be a team with a better record or a team that is just playing super great every day because that team knows that they can take days off.
Yeah.
And this is another situation where we got a short off season, yeah. But so did everybody else. Everybody else had a short training camp. So does it help the team that was super bond and super just the tightest chemistry you ever seen that just spent 94 days together in a bubble? Or does it help the team that was just formed that the GM put together on an Excel sheet with 4 other people as they were trying to figure out what can win the championship? It might help us out because if it's a matter of retaining that chemistry and making that chemistry as quick as possible relate to game-winning plays and game-winning performances, we might win in that category.
I think we're gonna win a lot of categories. All I'm saying is, don't be surprised and don't jump out the window when I'm not gonna say when, but if we look like a mess these first couple of games, I think that's very possible.
Fair. Have you seen the schedule at all?
All I know so far is the first game and Christmas.
I'm going to be real with you. Adam Silver, I love you, man. Let me see if I can pull up the schedule.
We got the Kings and all of them.
Bro, especially because this year, we're doing a lot of back-to-backs. And I think I do think Silver did this intentionally because of how short our offseason was. But I'm going to share my screen with you right now. And tell me what you think for the time we should be building, our chemistry and our squad up and whatnot. That's preseason. Okay. So Clippers, Mavs, Wolves, Blazers, Spurs, Grizzlies, Spurs, Bulls, Rockets, Thunder, Pelicans, Warriors, Bucks, Bulls, Cavs, 76ers, Pistons, Celtics, Hawks, Nuggets, Pistons, Thunder, Grizzlies, Wolves, Nets. Okay, that's a good one. Heat, Wizards, Jazz, Blazers, like Suns, again, Kings.
Not gonna hold you. It's looking pretty beautiful.
I see a whole lot of dubs, man.
Honestly, bro, it would have been foul if they gave us some crazy schedule. Being one of the 2 teams that's coming off of a 2-month off season.
Yeah.
That would have been foul.
So you can easily say that, and I get it, that, we might run into a little, maybe a 5-5 start or something stupid like that. But I think it's also more than possible we come out the gate swinging.
Yeah. It might just take one game to punch us in the mouth like usual because last year we had a great roster coming in and then got punched in the mouth by the Clippers. And it was just like the first game, first time together as a team situation and bounced back quick. And then we went on a run. So that's very possible too, where we, it might just take one punch in the mouth situation and then we just go on a run. I see that happening too. I'm not really counting out any possibilities. All I know is that we're looking pretty good in our favor right now in terms of that overall outcome.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how that schedule plays out for sure. Now to really get into the deep dived questions. This is the real one, man. Does anybody ever reply back in the OG group chat?
In the OG, like to this day?
Yeah, like, did they just how does a team approach that?
Damn. I'm pretty sure it's definitely like an awkward transition.
And
Like I know it was a Danny Green has left the chat moment.
yeah, like, do they just recycle that same chat and just be like, yo, Dwight, shout out to you. Dwight Howard leave the chat, and then they add Montrez. Hey, yo, what's up, bro? Like,
That would be crazy.
do they keep that same thread, or do they just, create
You
an?
gotta make a new one.
You got to make a new one, right?
You gotta make a new one.
Now, what happens to that old one? Do they just like check in periodically? Like,
Probably periodically, bro. I think it dies out definitely slowly. I'm pretty sure it's probably died out by now, but I think the guys who dip out say their grace, love y'all. You know what I'm saying? It was great playing with y'all, whatever they gotta say. Um, everybody loves as a response, everybody loves it.
mhm.
And then it doesn't get used anymore. And eventually everybody else just deletes that conversation.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it just gracefully just leaves, you know what I'm saying?
See how I see this one playing out is I feel like Dwight Howard is probably the person that keeps trying to entertain it and keep trying to like spark that old thing back.
There's no way, bro, the way he left. There's no way. He gotta be completely embarrassed, bro.
And how did that go in the group chat? Like, did they, yo, Dwight, I can't wait to play. Wait, what? What's going on, bro?
I know there was mad laughing emojis, bro. I know there had to be.
But like, I can see like Dwight like laying out his Sixers gear, taking a picture of it, and be like, oh, next chapter. And then they hit it with the little heart, and then it's kind of just no conversation from there on out. Like those little like heart and the thumbs up, it kind of just gives you an excuse not to respond.
Nah, facts.
So I feel like that might be how they phase out. And then they might like, what I mean, oh, we in Philly tonight when Bron and AD comes to town. And they could joke about it for the day. But I feel like Bradley definitely was like, man, I'm
Bradley
out.
was out of there.
Bradley's
I feel like DG said one thing was out of there. JaVale and Dwight are probably the only ones still straggling along. Like honestly,
I'm sure they're trying.
where's JaVale now again?
Cleveland.
That's tough.
Yeah. I'm sure they're trying. I'm sure JaVale's gonna throw a comment to Bron and like, yo, Bron, I can't find shit to do out here. Like, any recommendations?
Bron is gonna laugh at it.
And then JaVale
No
tunes
response.
JaVale tunes to Bron's IG story, sees him out to dinner with Montrez, and like, damn, all right.
Yeah, bro. It's definitely getting slowed. I mean, the new group chat is definitely jumping by now. I know Duds is active in there again. The new members active, but yeah, it's definitely dead. Has to be.
I did, yeah. We did get not a report, but we did get a confirmation that there is a new group chat. That there is, Dennis Schroeder and all the new guys in a group chat with the squad now, which is always a good sign to hear, man. That's a simple thing. That should be simple chemistry, right? A nice little group chat. Let's hope nobody takes
Shout out
offense
to
to the
Jared Dudley,
jokes.
man.
That's the guy, man. I really every day I just wake up and thank Duds. I can't wait to see him play in the preseason.
No, for real, for real.
He's gonna put it on some people's heads.
He's
Pause.
gonna put in the fly.
He is, bro. All right, so one of the last questions, at least, is and this is a serious one. Who replaces Rajon Rondo's swagger?
That's a tough one, man, because I know that was big for Frank. You know, it was big for us. You
Is
know,
it somebody that's already on the team? Maybe.
the easy answer would be Schroeder, but who knows if he has the swagger to match Rondo's swagger. I mean, that was a different level of swag, bro. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
yeah.
The way Frank broke it down was just it made perfect sense to me. I didn't get it at first, but Frank broke it down. I was like, yeah, we definitely need swag on this team. So I'm not gonna lie, bro. That might be the one area that concerns me a little bit, because it's like I'm not too sure if it's replaceable.
That might be one of the. Every team needs a certain amount of tools in the shed house, and that might just be the one tool missing from the toolbox that kind of just makes everything a little more incomplete.
What worries me, bro.
The phrase of what worries me in this context.
No, but honestly, what worries me is that edit point. What worries me is that, you know, the spectacular player that LeBron is, he's gonna recognize that void and try to overcompensate and
I was gonna
fill
use
that
that word.
void and mess everything up. You know what I'm saying? I don't want Bron to try to look at the swag that's missing in the team at year 18 now and try to fill that void of swagger. There's no way.
Yeah, that's a very valid concern. He might need to load manage just on the swagger alone.
Just off swagger alone, bro.
I wonder if we could figure out a different DNP for that, just kind of like a
Swag management.
swag management. Somebody might need to be bought a Prada bag just for swag alone.
Rather holla Harden.
They might need to connect. Like you said, I think Schroeder is the like. You hear that and you want to jump to Schroeder, and then you think, all right, maybe Montrez can be that, and then you think he might be way too busy giving that energy for swag. That might be just you're asking for too much, especially like
I don't know if it's gonna mix.
Like Lou Will was probably the swag of the Clippers, where Montrez was the energy. Now, if you're asking for Montrez to be energy and swag, it might just be too much for him, and he might just explode in all reality. Like, and not in like the good type of exploding to the rim. He might just, his body might give up. And like you said, Schroeder might be that guy, but at the end of the day, I think he took the blonde patch out of his hair. So,
bro, this whole time, it really might be Alex Caruso.
That's exactly why I said, can the person be on the team already? That is why I said that.
Bro, it just hit me. I'm thinking like, yo, what was it about Rondo's swag? I was thinking about the headband. And you know what I'm saying? I was like, wait a minute. We got Alex Caruso. I don't know, man. He might be able to fill that void. I don't know. It's a big void to fill, but I think Caruso might be our best candidate.
He might be, and he doesn't take on the scoring load. So if he can just tackle the defensive and swagger side, we're fulfilled.
We're in good shape. I'm not gonna hold
And
you.
Schroeder could just worry about scoring. We know we can't get swagger from Kuz. That's the one misconception I don't want to get into. You know what I mean? If we're relying on a swagger from Kuz, we might be in trouble this season.
And it's hilarious too, because I'm pretty sure I don't know who's in charge of the whole NBA fashion, whatever, but I'm pretty sure he was like one of those guys who was like best dripped.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Very misleading stats, fake news. You know what I'm saying? Kuzma is very much swaggerless. I just want to make that very clear.
I think if we were to look on Kuzma's plus and minus in the swag department, specifically, that is one of the things where it's misleading. Like, it's one of the things where, like, it looks good on paper, but if you really break it down,
if you watch the film,
the analytics don't match up to the actual performance itself. Like, it actually proves he's a minus in that department.
yeah.
So it brings the whole team swag down. Maybe the swag is too high for him, where it brings the whole team swag
He's
down.
a swag liability, to be honest.
Yeah, I think that's another thing too. He has some swaggy days, and then there's days where it's just like, where'd it go?
Yeah, that's why we needed Rondo.
Yeah, Rondo, as much as he was hurt, just the swag on the bench alone, man, it just like oozed
Onto the court.
Yeah, so we'll see where we're gonna get it. I don't know if Wesley Matthews is that type of guy either. Hopefully,
I don't know.
yeah,
It's a lot to ask for. I don't want to just put that on anybody.
It's a big role. It's one that isn't being talked about either.
No, not at all.
So I'm glad we were able to break that down for sure. But now that we got off of that the hard hitting questions, let's go to the softball for the day. And the last question is, do Lakers win the championship?
Yo, bro, I don't know if I told you this before. I got the Rose notification earlier.
Oh, wait, let me check my phone.
Forgot to tell you. Maybe I sent it to you. I don't know. But let me just read it off my phone right now. Woj confirms 18 on the way.
Oh, wow. Let me see. Oh, okay. I think I found that one too. Yep. Tweeted 30 minutes ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can only tell you the facts, man.
I mean, that's what we do here. We break down the facts and we turn it into some good content. But I mean, with that confirmation right there, that's I don't know if I could trust Woj. I might have to wait till Shams tweets it, just because it looks like Shams might be our guy.
Yeah, he might be a little delayed a little bit, but I assure you, 18 on the way.
Well, I'm gonna take your source and I'm going to agree with it. I do believe that it's quite a possibility Lakers will be bringing home and take that lead above Celtics, right where we belong. We always been the top NBA franchise in general, but just in case we needed extra validation, that 18 has a nice ring to it, all pun intended. So, is there any other questions really that we got to cover, man?
Hey, man. I feel like I'm missing something, but all I can say is 18 on the way.
I don't think we're missing nothing at all. I do want to, as 18 approaches, as the new season approaches, I do, for anybody watching, for any family watching, I do just want to put the disclaimer out there. I am accepting all Lakers gear for Christmas. My birthday is right after Christmas, Matt. I know you follow me in that. Your birthday is not too far after Christmas. I think you're on the same page as me. We are accepting all Lakers gear or memorabilia. If you want to give me a replica Larry O'Brien trophy, that is absolutely fine. I do not discriminate as long as I am receiving something Lakers. We're all good.
Yeah, I concur. All chip drip, you know what I'm saying, is welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Saying I'll be happy to sponsor that for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, absolutely. There will be no complaints in this swag department over here.
Oh, no.
With that being said, so guys, let us know, what are some of your unanswered questions that you just have to see it to really believe it, I guess, coming into this next season. Hopefully you guys are watching this before the first preseason game starts, but I'm sure we're going to have some questions going into the season and maybe some early preseason thoughts coming up very, very soon. So guys, with all that being said, thank you for watching as always. And if I don't see you, have a good afternoon, good evening, and good night. It's coming.
Vote.
Yes, sir. Pride of bag because I'm proud of the Lakers. You heard?
With some honey buns.
Gonna come. Hope I'm ready when she do. All the good die way too young. Hope I ain't good enough for you. If I ever get caught up, hope it ain't shit left I could prove. Cause I'm only 21, ain't got shit left I could